Today we're not just talking about software. We're actually telling a story. It's the story of the perfect order, a journey that every single business takes, from a simple customer request all the way to a perfect financial record. This is really about how the best systems don't just fix chaos, they're designed to stop it from ever even starting. And this quote, this really gets to the heart of the problem, doesn't it? The biggest issues in any business, they rarely come from some super complex technical glitch. Nope, they come from the simple stuff. Someone forgot a shipping point, they used the wrong payment terms, or a really critical instruction for the warehouse just vanished. So that brings us to the real question, the one we're here to answer. Forget about fixing problems after they've already happened. How do you build a system that makes these simple but incredibly costly errors impossible to make in the first place? Let's dive in and see how it's done. Okay, our journey begins right at the most critical moment. The second an order is created. This is your first, and honestly, your best chance to enforce some discipline and just prevent that chaos from the get-go. So I want you to think of incompletion logic as the tough but fair bouncer for your business. It literally checks every single order at the door and says, whoa, hold on, you're missing your payment terms. You can't come in. This logic stops bad data right at the source, and that prevents a whole tidal wave of problems for everybody downstream. Now, if incompletion logic is your bouncer, then text determination is the system's perfect little messenger. It makes sure that all those critical instructions, things like forklift required for unloading or special 5% discount applied, are automatically attached to the order and follow it everywhere it goes. No more lost sticky notes, right? And this slide just illustrates it perfectly. They work together as a team. Incompletion logic is the stop sign. It's a hard, non-negotiable rule that protects the entire process. Text determination, on the other hand, is like the perfect automated sticky note. It makes sure everyone is on the same page. One enforces discipline, the other provides clarity, and you absolutely need both. Okay, so our order is now correct. It's clear. The foundation is solid. The next step in its journey is to get a little more intelligent, to start actively helping the company execute its sales strategy. And this is where the system really becomes a proactive sales tool. These aren't just features. They are your actual sales strategies, hard-coded right into the workflow. So whether it's a buy 10, get 1 free deal, a product swap, or an upsell, the system does it automatically. It makes sure it's followed every single time without fail. What's really fascinating about this is the thinking behind each one of these functions. Free goods, that's all about incentive logic. You're rewarding a customer for their behavior. Material determination is all about continuity logic, making sure that customer gets what they need even if the part number changes. And cross-selling, that's pure growth logic. It's all about expanding the sale. This is where a system stops being just a transaction processor and starts driving real business results. Okay, the order's correct, it's strategic, but now it faces its first big reality check. We've made a promise to the customer, and the huge question is, can we actually keep it? This is where a company's reputation is either built or it's broken. So, the system has 2 basic ways to answer that question. The first is a real-time check. It's called Available to Promise, or ATP. It just asks, what do we physically have in the warehouse right this second? The second way is checking against a plan, which asks a different question. What did we plan to sell this month? And believe me, the method a company chooses tells you everything you need to know about their business model. So here's the crucial part. Once the system confirms, yep, we can fulfill this order, it can't just keep that information to itself. It has to tell the rest of the company. And that is the transfer of requirements. It's basically the digital handshake between the sales team and the supply chain team. It's the sales order shotting over to the factory, hey, we just sold 1,000 of these, time to fire up the machines. And man, this line just says it all, doesn't it? The availability check, that's the promise. The transfer of requirements, that's the signal to get to work. If you promise something but you don't signal the factory to make it, you're basically lying to your customer. And if you signal the factory without a confirmed promise, well, that's just chaos. They have to work together perfectly. All right, our order has passed the data check, the strategy check, and the reality check. But now it faces its toughest test, and it's guarded by the financial bodyguard of the system, credit management. I absolutely love this analogy because it completely reframes how we should think about credit checks. They are not there to stop sales. They exist to give the business the confidence to go fast, to approve orders quickly and safely, because you know the financial risk is under control. You can't race without good brakes. And a smart system doesn't just use a sledgehammer for this. It uses a scalpel. It segments customers by their risk profile. So a brand new customer with a spotty payment history, they might get a hard block. A trusted standard partner, they just get a simple warning. And a key strategic account, like the government, the order just sails right on through. This is intelligent risk management, not some one-size-fits-all roadblock. So how does this check actually work on a basic level? Well, this visual makes it super clear. The system just takes the customer's open invoices, what they already owe you, adds the value of this new order, and then compares that total to their credit limit. So here you see $8,000 in open invoices plus a new $4,000 order, that equals $12,000 of exposure, which is over the $10,000 limit. Boom, the system blocks it. Simple, safe, and really effective.
We are on the final leg of the journey, folks. The order has survived every single test we've thrown at it. Now it just has to complete its most important transformation, becoming a perfect, auditable financial record.
And this is the moment of truth. Everything up to this point has been about operations. Now it gets financial. The system has to perform its most critical magic trick. It has to look at the order and decide exactly which general ledger account the money should be posted to. If you make one mistake here, you've got a serious accounting problem on your hands. So how in the world does it find the right account? Well, it's actually this beautiful piece of logic, almost like a detective using a series of clues. First, it asks, who's the customer? Are they domestic or export? Second, what did we sell? A product or a service? And third, what kind of money is this? Is it revenue? Is it freight? Or is it tax? And using that very specific, unique combination, it finds the exact general ledger account. It's just automated precision at its best.
And this right here, this is the big takeaway for anyone who works with these systems. When something goes wrong at this stage, the amateur points fingers and says, oh, that's a finance problem. But the pro? The pro knows that the root cause is hiding in this determination logic. Understanding this gives you true ownership of the entire end-to-end process.
Which really just leaves us with one final, powerful question to think about. After seeing this whole journey, from preventing chaos to executing strategy to ensuring financial integrity, you really have to ask yourself, is your system just a glorified calculator that processes transactions, or is it a disciplined, intelligent engine that is actively executing your business strategy every single second of every day?